So guys, session number 19, I think. Evos, good to see you, man. Yeah, session number 19. So, for those of you following me on Instagram, I just posted up a clip of what I'm going to be working on tonight. Not feeling overly inspired on the project that I started up last week, but I'll get to that. That's going to be something that will just come to me eventually. So, whole thought behind this track that I'm going to show you shortly was I've got a mix upcoming soon, and I thought I haven't really got anything brand new or anything super secret for it yet, so I made a bootleg of a track which I haven't done in ages. It's from everybody's favourite tear-out producer, Marauda. So I've done a bootleg of Casket, just snipped up stuff from the VIP and the normal version. I think it sounded really cool. Like, I've only got a couple of little bits to do. I'm mainly going to be focusing on the mix down for it tonight, like getting it all rendered out to stems and everything else, so I can properly mix it down, because it's sounding a bit rough around the edges at the moment. But yeah, it's good. I'm good, thanks, man. It's been a mental week at work. So yeah, glad it's Friday tomorrow. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Right. Let's go. Cool. So here it is in all its glory. And the guitar parts, like I did the guitar parts from scratch and stuff, so they're sounding not great at the moment, but I'm hoping that can be fixed in the mix or just throw in a couple of layers. But I'll do a quick playthrough, and hopefully it doesn't get a copyright strike or anything. I'm pretty sure it's that different, but yeah, we'll see. Heavy as well. Really like how well it's turned out. Radio, thanks for hopping in, dude. Hold on to your underwear. Shit's about to get real in here. Sure about this bit coming up. Just sounds a bit too messy. There's too much going on, but I'll see. Yeah, it's just that section I've tried to do, because if I solo the bit of the original track, I've tried to do like that little blue bit at the beginning of it is pitched up because he only does that section for like the wrong bit. So we all know that bit in the VIP. But I've tried to do like the long descending bass with all these. and I've also done the, like, I don't know whether it's a vocal chop in the original. Like, I've layered that up with some guns, and I think that's what's making it dirty. Like, the fact there's so much going on. Because that's just mud, really, when it's all played together. There's just way too much going on. But yeah, the other sections are much better, and basically second drop is not copy and paste, but pretty fucking similar. This section is basically, I've changed up the pattern a little bit, and then in the second half, like this bit here, I've done some like little quarter note bits, like rather than sixth notes. I don't think there's much going on with the stereo. I've just done this all straight down the middle. I don't really do anything stereo-wise on much of my stuff. Well, what about if I just mute those gun parts? If that, I think it'll sound a little bit boring then, but we'll see. Actually, let's solo that and see what's going on with the EQ, because that is sounding really messy. I think it's just because there's too many clashing frequencies. And if I take that off and unmute all those and that, if I go there and there, what's that looking like? Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one to sort out. I don't know whether it's worth salvaging or whether I just scrap that bit altogether and just kind of like do just a different variation. Let's try and fix the EQ on this, because I'm convinced it's these guns that are just muddying up everything as well as the already muddy bass. So it's that patch. That's like an old patch that I've used. That's like, it's all right for layering in the right situation, but it ain't that great for a lot of other things. Let's go grab one of my other faithful guns. Seraphim was guns. That might be a bit better. Alright, doesn't help that I'm missing some of those hits there. It's just that one, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I'm the same there. Awesome. That's going to be back here as well. No, all good. Jesus, there's no low end in that. What is it doing? I think probably as well, if I mute the sub, because I've just done like just repeated chunks of just the same note rather than it doing the kind of like slow descending thing or even following the bass. No, I agree. It does sound a hell of a lot cleaner already just by sorting out. I think it was that the serum gun thing, like whatever this one was doing. Like that sounds a lot better. I think it's just because I've got the mix totally slammed with Ozone right now that I can't really hear the sub or anything. I'm not sure about you guys, but through these headphones I cannot hear. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's figure out what note this starts on, because I'm sticking with D for the whole track. So if I do that and then go track, new software track, get my tuning ear out. And then that's going to be maybe an F sharp. Maybe. Turn it down a bit so it blends in. Maybe if I slap a tuner on it, that might help me figure it out, or otherwise I might be here for like half an hour trying to figure out what note it is and drive away any viewers that I've got. Right, tuner. G sharp. That was close. Yeah. And then every step it should go down, so. Hello Storm, good to see you. G down to F sharp, so it should just be a chromatic full. Thank you. Come here so you don't wander all over my keyboard. Yeah. But double check everything going down. Still thinks it's that's probably because it's hitting the snare. That's F sharp, so this would be F. Yeah, somewhere around there. Come here, mate. Come here. That to there. Let's see, I'll play that underneath. I think it's that one, sounds a little bit off. Maybe it's not. So I might just do that, but to really emphasize like the sort of choppiness of this, I will really slap on a tremolo and sync it up so phase is 0, so it's literally just chopping in and out. Right, thanks, cat. Don't sit on my mouse. There we go. Good play down there. Good chap. I think that's 16ths. Yeah, that's better-ish. Won't go all the way on the depth though, and I'll do that with maybe that's just a messy bass as well, because it's the formant one. Okay. Better, not perfect. So what I've got to do is like copy and paste this a million times. Oh, crap. There. This is still only going to be 16ths. So let's listen. Get some choppiness in between. Or I might just move that down like an octave and just keep that as a square wave, because the sub is just going to flap about like an angry fish if I try and put that in a sub pattern. G sharp. Yeah, I'm going to need to like double those notes up. Stick the velocity all the way. Copy everything and then find the halfway point in between these notes. Fuck's sake. there. Ugh. No, I'm going to go back to just six. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, just 16ths. And keep it nice and subby so people can hear it kind of like descending more. Alright, that is doing something weird now. And once I've got this section done, I think maybe just find one or two more vocal chops and then get everything out of stems, because I'm happy with the gun parts. Like, the main chunk of it is just this descending part is driving me a bit mad. I'm gonna nuke this and go for a new one. I think I based this off one of the ones in here though. Just need a nice descendy one. Yeah, if I get blow it away. Okay, maybe do that. Oh, how many semitones would that be? That'd be... if I try 12, it doesn't need to be exact. Needs to be round the other way, because that's going up in pitch. That might be a little bit better. Fuck it, that's better than what I had before, so I'm gonna roll with it and let's just accept it. This is gonna be quick bootleg. I'm probably not going to release this publicly unless there's a massive demand for it, so it's just going to be thrown in this mix as like a tasty little track, and whoever obsessively plays the recording of this over again to enjoy. So I think I'm alright for vocal samples in the first drop, so I'm going to play through the second, and then, because these yellowy greeny bits are the vocal chops that I've extracted, like the effects and stuff, and they're missing a couple, and it'd be nice to get some new ones, well, not new ones, but stuff that I haven't used from the original track. So let's have a listen to the second drop. Oh yeah, play it from this section here because it is quite cool. I need to sort out the guitar bit as well. Hopefully EQ will sort that. Doesn't feel like it's missing anything, it's just whatever this is. Okay, that like reverse scream thing, and it was at the end of that sample, but I've just used, oh yeah, that kind of like weird chunky thingy bass from like the second drop of the VIP, and made it sound fat as fuck. Not that it already didn't sound fat as fuck, but I've just slammed a ton of fucking distortion and notch on it, so it sounds chonky. Right. Guitars, I'm really praying that it's just EQ on this, because they sound pretty flat at the moment. I don't know what I've done, or what I've done with my previous tracks to make guitar sound a bit more full than this, but basically this sounds as flat as a witch's tit at the moment. Is not doing it for me. So this, again, falling thing is a bit too loud. Yeah, that's a lot better without that stuff, I think. So, have I used that anywhere else apart from... No, just under the guitar. So let's go drag that down to the bottom. I thought it was a good idea to try and fill it out with something more, but yeah, I would say not. So yeah, that's... That'd be the bass guitar. And I think on Bloodbearer it sounded a lot better when I did getting a bass amp simulator on it. So if I get like DI, but if I use an actual cabinet instead, I need to figure out that MIDI properly. That needs to be little stabby bits rather than short and long. That's a bit better. This section. Why have I decided to like fucking program it all like that? Like, madness. That's a bit better. So I've got that bit right. And then this weird like half thing like that. Extend that out to there. Okay, whatever I've done there, I've done it a lot, so let's copy and paste that and hope that sounds a bit better and not as flappy. So it should sound like maybe that's it. No, it's just that long sustain note. Oh, mother. Oh, this is why I stopped playing guitar and recording my own shit, because this bit was just fucking painful sometimes. I just need to go get myself like a MIDI guitar and just plug in everything on that. But nobody hears bass anyway, so fuck it, we'll roll with it. Might copy that layer onto the sub layer that I've got. Oh, piss there. Color code it. But maybe move it up an octave so it's actually audible. Okay, so I think this has already got an amp sim on it, but what I'm going to do is just blend it in a little bit. So if I find another like DI preset, I'll just go find a DI amp, clean preamp, and I want find high octane. No, I guess it doesn't have that option to blend, so maybe I'll get lazy and do a bass amp designer and sort of blend it again. Clean DI. Go for amp, no. That's a bit better. No, that's made it sound worse. Volt, sorry man, I didn't see if I can see your comment. Nice man. Just need to add pickups, enemies, and progression. Awesome. That's really cool, man. I need to get my shit into gear and make some fucking music for you. Like better music. So, like I said, this one is going to be a just a bootleg. So, and I'll break down the basses in a sec, and I'll show you what I've done. But I dare say I could probably just rip some of the stuff from here where I haven't used any of Marauda samples. So, because this is like gun heavy, and I'm pretty sure that we can work that into anything really. But right, let's go. That sounds a bit more tame just for even running through like a preamp sim. Oh, I can hear the bass now, and that's fucking bugging me. Yeah, let's figure out this MIDI, and then I'd say that's probably good to bounce out the stems and master. Alright, does anything start here? What the fuck am I even playing there? So that's the end of the slide. So, is it there? Yeah, man, demo sounds sick, and that's probably the best way to get it out there and heard. Aha. That's where it is. There's a fucking hit there. Oh my god, is that where I've been going wrong all this fucking time? Oh, I might just fucking... Because surely if I can hit the strings with a plectrum, if I literally hold a plectrum, bring up the on-screen keyboard, and play this fucking thing in by me using a plectrum to hit a key on the keyboard, will have better chance of me clicking this fucking thing in. Fuck it, let's do it. Unorthodox, I know, but yeah, fuck it, let's go for it. Window. Stupid fucking gent player. All these years of playing guitar, might have thought that, you know, might have got something into my head of like how to click some things in. I'm good at doing triplets and things that I do frequently, but anytime it comes to doing this, no chance. Okay. Right, so this is in the key of D, so if I go down another octave. Okay, I'll take ozone off so there isn't a delay. Okay, here goes nothing. Let's loop that section out a little bit longer. This is going to be absolutely trash. I can already tell you now this is going to be awful. Just so you guys can see what's going on. Will that keyboard keep like that? Stay there, webcam. Stay there. Right, let's set that to record. What the fuck was that? That was awful. I might have caught that some of the time, so... And again, there's a massive fucking recording delay. Why? Why would you do this? So if I drag that back to there, I was sort of in time. Boom, 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 dum, 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 dum. Let's see if I was even close. And I won't quantize it, because that'll just undo all the work that I've done. Okay, it's that pattern there that I want. get my skizzers out. That would sound if a program was coding on with it. Yeah, it's it's rough, man. It is rough. Okay, so but stop. Why did I find that so challenging? Like, look at it. It's not fucking difficult. Well, apparently my brain just went, nope, you're not having that. It doesn't help the fact that it's down at this ridiculous low tuning as well. So I wasn't that far off, it was just the middle note really. Okay. That sounds a ton better. That has stopped me fucking freaking out about that bit. So that's what I'll do in the future. I'll just hammer away at the keyboard semi in time and then go, oh yeah, it should be like there. Much, much easier. Cool, and with that, oh yeah, and go, oh, don't tell me my headphones have got low battery. Well, I probably need to switch over to my speakers at some point anyway. Right, sub. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of that. That's like automation for telling all this stuff to do like the different type of bass picking, because you can do like pick scrapes and everything else. But we don't want that flabby note coming through on our sub. Let's get rid. Up there and up to D2. Okay, put it all together and it sounds like. A lot better. A lot better. Still sounds a little bit empty, but I think otherwise I'm going to spend weeks on this, and I don't have weeks because I think I'm meant to be submitting the mix like a week ago. So basically all I've got to do now is just render this all out to stems and give it a quick mix. Before I do that though, I will just break it down and show you that I'm not just ripping Marauda stems. So basically it's this whole line, the Marauda gun thing up here. This is just taken from the intro of the VIP. But I have layered that up with all of these sounds. I'll break them and play them individually as well. And that's like the girth of what comes through. So, first channel we got is basically variations of this. all the same patch, just basically just tiny adjustments in the LFO and stuff. So that's just monster and basic shapes running through FM. Loads of shit mapped to this LFO, mainly the EQ, like FM, the notch filter, everything just going off that one EQ we've got without any post. That was the same track that was up in Discord for like I think like a day up in the track feedback channel, yeah. But it wasn't the one that I sent to you privately. But yeah, just notch filter is responsible for so much of my sound. Next channel, I think we've got something quite subby and with like a bit of high-end fuzz. Similar thing again going on with and we've got some real stuff going on with the transients. Oh yeah, no, this isn't the one that I've sent in the Deadshot OST group. That was something that I can't remember if I've done that on stream or not, but I think that had the old plugin loaded into it and it just destroyed the project, so I'll go back into that at some point when I've got that project recovered. But it's basically crashing the project and then try and load it, but I can get into it again, won't be that hard. So this is all just mainly relying on the reverb filter. I think without that it would sound this, I think, is just a sample or something that I just heavily reprocessed, and that's just thuddy stuff, just a real sweet spot on the EQ for like the just real thumpiness of gunshot sounds. Right, time to mix this fucker down. So try and group this into as few things as I possibly can. But first of all, let's go and take off the automation, because I'm going to be exceedingly lazy in this project. I'm just going to turn down the master. So I think I've done this on a stream before, but this is where it gets super exciting. I render everything out to stems as if I was just doing it for a remix thing. Basically, if this stereo out, take off ozone and anything else on the master, so there should be nothing on the master at all. As long as it's reading under -1, we're good. But I can tell you that when we get here, it's going to be crazy loud. Yeah. So anytime that goes up in the red, it is a big whoa, fuck, oh, fucked up. So that basically just means the proper way to do it is to turn everything down, which I will do to a degree, but it's when it gets down to like almost nothing and it's still hitting way too loud, then I just turn down the fucking master. 0.4. Turn down bits individually. That's better. In an ideal world, if you're sending something to a mastering engineer, they will ask for like, this is what you call headroom. So when that they can apply like crazy post stuff to it, like all their EQs and sweeteners and saturation and everything else. It's going to add more volume. So -3 is an ideal world, and that's what I always try and aim for. But like when I've got a project with like millions and millions of basses in and variations and stuff, this thing that I'm working on is for a remix. Like this is somebody else's track. Like this is a bootleg of one of Marauda's tracks. But like I said, I'll be happy to rip some of the basses out so I can reuse that in a track just without his stuff in it. Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion. I know you only came in like a little bit later, so you missed me doing all the spiel on the. This is a bootleg track, but yeah, this is for a mix that I got coming up, which is super secret stuff. But yeah, this is going in a mix. Maybe the opening track, but we'll see. So casket, stems. Casket, kick, and this is what I'll do. So do that for the snare, the kick, the cymbals, the drum kits and the fills and everything else, and the toms. One for the sub, one for the mids, and if I've got wildly different mids and layers and stuff, then this will be like a different. I'll just render out like 3 or 4 different mids, but I think this one I'll only be able to get away with one, maybe a separate channel for like the descending bit. Effects, atmosphere, like effects being like the whooshes and the random Foley and stuff, and maybe like little vocal samples. The atmosphere being like the pads and everything else. So normally like I'll be able to get away with 10 in a best case scenario, but we'll see how we end up. Yeah, bounce it all out to WAV and then stick it in a different project. That's where I do all my side chaining and everything else. Cool. So yeah, it does take a little while, but it's definitely not that bad in this project. Okay. He is a tad loud, so drag it down. Side chaining is basically turning everything else down. So people, the most common way you'd hear it in, especially kind of like electronic music and everything else, is basically turning everything else. So like the mids, the sub, everything down when the kick hits. So basically you hear it a lot in like stuff like techno, really bad. So basically the only thing you hear when the kick plays is just the kick, because without that it's just the kick hits when everything else is hitting that frequency. Like so much of mixing and mastering is all about like finding a sweet spot for everything to live in its own little EQ world, because if you're having like a really sub heavy bass part and you're hitting in with a really low subby kick, then 2 of those things are just going to go and it's going to sound like a wet fart playing. If you play like a really low sub note and a kick at the same time, they're just going to fight. There's not much room in the low end. High end, there's plenty of room. Like if you see, like if I bring up an EQ in a sec when I've got this snare rendered out, you'll see like how down towards the low end there's big curves because everything is just such a big sound down there, but up towards the high end you get loads of little spikes and everything else, because that's just the way that frequency works. New remix concept. Okay man, that's cool. Yeah, plug it in the Discord if you want, but I'm pretty sure that you've told me that past couple of weeks. Grand remix contest. That sounds grand. Good for you, dude. Let me know how that works out for you. Right. Drag that down. See what we're hitting at now. Way bigger than normal remix contest. Okay, cool. Good stuff. 0.6. Yeah, that's the point where I get lazy. Like, at least it's not clipping anymore, but at least I can go move that down to minus 2.4. And that should hit minus 3. Maths. There we go. Okay, cool. That's good, man. I have played my earliest stuff, like back when I just started producing in my local town, and they booked me as just like a normal club DJ. So I was there thinking like I'm going to play a dubstep event for like I'm going to have my hour-long set or whatever that I was just so not really used to, but like I've been exposed to in the DJ world. No, I literally played my entire back catalogue of all of the stuff that I had back in this is like when Skrillex and Excision were like the big names in dubstep and everything else, like sort of 2012 2014 era stuff, so like Dirty Phonics and everything else like that. I played that in my hometown from like 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. like as a DJ slot, like normally be spinning ABBA or, you know, just some dancey trancey bollocks that I don't really fucking listen to, and it was awful, man. I felt so awkward. That is the only White Eyes appearance there has ever been, and it was before I started getting into like doing anything heavy or anything myself. That's the only event like I've done. I think I did Night of the Crows 2021, 2021. That was really cool. Like that got a real good response to it, and that was big. Obviously I was in the middle of lockdown, so it was just a virtual event. So basically just got my camera and pointed it down at decks and did a wiki wah thing. So yeah, I would like to play an event. Like I'd like to think I'm a little bit more known now, so it'd be really, really cool to play a show. I've never even played on like CDJs or anything, so that'll be a whole different fucking experience. Like I've got a track to set up, so it'll be alright, but I don't know, it's just syncing things up, and yeah, I'll be able to figure it out. But I very much would like to play a show somewhere. Okay, let's turn this up a bit, because that just had a hard compressor on that, so that was limiting it. So normally this isn't really normal what I do here. I keep all my drums as one whole thing, because I just use the whole metal drum kit, so I do the kick and the snare in there, everything else. So normally you just have a separate track for your cymbals and everything else, because most people just use samples of crash cymbals and everything else. But that's what makes my kind of like music a little bit more unique, is by like having a drum kit in there. Gives it a bit more of a metal sound rather than, you know, a very overproduced kind of thing. That's nice and easy to level because there's literally only 2 channels there. Makes it a lot easier. I reckon I might be able to get like a super rough mix down, like version 1 done before the stream ends tonight in half an hour. We'll see. This is where I need to think of more small talk in between all this fucking rendering. That's alright. It's going pretty quick though. It's like doing this on tracks like Versus of Abaddon, where it's like 9 minutes long. You've got to sit there and just wait for so long for the whole 9 minutes of like silence and like little bass cuts and everything else to fill out. That's when it drags, but luckily this is a shorter track that's just hitting like 4 minutes, so we're all good. Sub again is nice and quick. What I am going to do while I fucking remember though is, because I've got the bass and that there, got to copy over that because I've got that guitar riff on the fade out as well. That's better. Cool. There we go. Sub. Baking light maps. I think I know what light maps are to a degree, but yeah, I'm sure that, like, you know, waiting a couple of minutes to render out a minute long track is nothing compared to like graphic stuff or game development stuff. Like, I'm sure that you guys have a much longer wait for like rendering things out and like doing all that stuff. I guess it's like fucking 3D printing, you know, when you won't figure out until your finished object is like in your fucking hand by like leaving things overnight to print if you're just doing something like that. So yeah, I can definitely appreciate that. Like, I've got it pretty easy here. Yeah, no, I can imagine. I can imagine. Cool, so that's the easy part's done. This is where it gets a bit shit, because basically I've got to get all this red stuff onto one track. Now hopefully it won't be too crazy when I turn it on now. Drag those down by a tiny amount, and now hopefully if I just drag that down to -6 maybe, which is really pushing how much I can cheat with this, we won't get any clipping. Okay, now that makes sense. Yeah, light sources in gaming has got to be crazy. Okay, that hasn't gone above like -2.3, so I'm going to render that out. and if I need to go back and like split that descending bit and the main guns in out to something else, then that won't take too long. Call those the mids. And then I guess it's just the vocal chops and the effects and the guitar and bass, and then that should be good. But yeah, for the light mapping stuff, I'd imagine like that would totally fry like all the calculations when you're just trying to render a... Yeah, I guess it's mainly just for the moving objects. You'd need to think about stuff like that. Like if it's just shining off a wall, then you can go fuck it. If somebody walks past it, just render that thing that goes past it. Like I've got a rough idea. Because I work with like thin clients in my job for like all that stuff. So we work with like virtualization technology, so stuff like Citrix and everything else. Like when you move a mouse, like rather than having to send like the whole screen across, there's certain little bits that you can do for like just decoding, like, you know, H.264 codecs and JPEG codecs and everything else like that. So I've got a rough idea of the theory behind it, but fuck if I know how to actually make some of that wizardy shit work. Question, did I render out these bits? I think they're included. Oh, nice. That's handy then. Sounds a lot easier than what I'm having to do here. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Right, let's see if any of this clips. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of this. Oh, that bit does. Turn you down. What's everything else hitting? Minus 6.8. Okay, minus 5.5. Turn you down back. Cool. That'll do. And that can be a bit shorter, so bounce that out. Vox. So yeah, just the bass, the guitar, which I'm probably going to render into one, like the echoey bit for the guitar in the intro, which is going to go on the same channel, and then just the swooshes and the occasional pads and stuff. I might even be able to fit that together, and then I think we'll get a rough, super quick, like 15-minute mix done out of this, and get this wrapped up. Occlusion culling, map partitioning, and AI navigation. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'd imagine doing half of that shit in real time would like fry all your resources, so that makes sense. No, I was always tempted to give game development a go. Always tempted, but I tried a little bit of Java programming, and I just couldn't get my head around it when I was doing a lot of SQL work. I'm not meant for scripting, I'm just meant for fixing things. Yeah, can't do any of that shit from scratch. Apart from like creative shit like this, that's fine. Maybe a bit of graphic stuff here and there. Drag that down. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think that was like a similar Java thing that I did. It was like a sort of tower defense thing, and you had like so many units of like, it looked like a fucking like early like Windows XP Minesweeper thing. Literally just a robot that you could send over to attack another base. And I just used brute force of just like send all my people out at once and just go take the shortest path to them. Like I had no subtleties in my AI creation, because fuck that. Get all this leveled a bit more. Bollocks, that should have got rendered out with something else. Never mind, I'll put that in with the effects down here. Because they can go on their own channel, because it's not like they're mixed in with anything else. Nice one. Cool. Cool, that will do. Let's get that guitar rendered out. Metal. So there's nothing on fill. That's the contact stuff, so that's just pads and shit. I've got the effects and risers and stuff. And what's all that stuff in the middle? And what are these? Oh, that's going to be risers, aren't they? Yeah. So yeah, just risers and pads, and we're done. Maybe looking more like a 10-minute mix down, looking at the time. Yeah, we'll see. Might squeeze in a couple of hours on a Hogwarts Legacy, maybe. We'll see. We will see. Come on. Cool. Right, pads. Is that really the only place where I've got pads in the whole track? Put some of those in quick. Nah, man, you're all good. You're good. I work in IT, so I love a bit of fancy words just to go baffle some bitches. Let's go put that one there. And fuck it, that'll do. Right, file, bounce. That. Oh, cancel. Set that to 0. How loud are we? Yeah. That ain't gonna clip. Cool. Let's get that out to Atmos. and then the effects, and then go stick all this in a new project and give it a super dirty mix down. I think that'll probably help clean the project up a lot as well, because half the problem is I just layer so many kicks and stuff to make it loud enough so it comes through in this work in progress mix, but also leaves like a really nice kick sound as well. So yeah, kick and snare being side chained will help out a ton. And maybe some of these risers might get a little bit angry, so I'll just turn down the master on those, and I'll see if I need to go back and re-export these at a later date. But hopefully by tomorrow I'll have a finalised version of this track. Yeah, and the guns are what they are. Got an idea. The menu song, go on. Right. A collab could definitely work for sure, man. Noxtroma, I'm happy to work with, yeah. Torturer, will be able to get something out of him for sure. Let's start probably working on our individual tracks, like get a style and stuff. But I dare say, yeah, the title screen could be, yeah, it could be a 4-way, well, 3-way collab. That hasn't got too loud. Yeah, man, that'd be fun. That would be fun. But right, I think that isn't going to clip because they're all the same sounds from there. So let's go bounce that out to final. Actually, before I say that, I haven't played this. Yeah, cool. Not clipping, that's good. In fact, that could probably get turned up a tiny bit. Awesome, let's get that out. Or maybe rather than the menu track, maybe the final boss would be more fitting. We'll see. I'm sure, you know, we can chop and track the tracks around. But I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know. It's your project at the end of the day, dude. We'll be able to figure something out, but that might be fun. Oh, I'll get a super dirty mix down done in the next 8 minutes. It's what we call speed mixing in the game. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Because none of this was crazy out. Like, I've definitely got better over the past 2 albums of just like this spade. Like, used to take me hours, like absolutely hours of just trying to find the right balance between everything and like export stuff, and it was just, I'd have one random bass in there that would just peak everything and I'd go, right, I need to render out that whole fucking thing again. But no, I've got better at doing this. If I had enough resources, I'd just do this all in the project and group shit together, but I just find it easier to do this stuff. Right, close, save. Audio. Cool. And I'll show you how I do my side chaining as well. So get all these stems in. Cool. Right, colour code it, or otherwise I get lost. So that's there, that's purple, that's bright pink, green for drums, drums up at the top, metal is like brownish, mids are red, sub is yellow, and fuck it, vocals can stay blue. So that's sub next, mids next, Atmos way down at the bottom, effects way down at the bottom, Vox there, and audio 1 can go down there. Cool. Right, so first things first, get these sent to a bus channel, which is basically like routing their signal out to another thing. On that all the way, but we don't want the bus playing anything. Yeah, main theme makes sense actually, you are right. Cool, so that's, we call this the side channel, and we don't want it going out anywhere. So now whenever the kick and the snare plays, you'll see that this thing over here will okay, cool. So we've got a side chain channel going. That doesn't sound like I need to do much in terms of the EQ. Maybe just turn the main drums down a bit. Like I'll go through and EQ this and fine tune it. Yeah. So, in terms of the compressor, so this volt is what happens with side chaining. So I've got that little group here sending the kick and the snare out to this channel. I've set that as the source for the compressor, so if I set it to this graph, and Evos, you might learn a thing or two from this as well. This is how side chaining works, so that's where my signal is being cut. With a sub it's quite hard to hear, so I'll do the same thing on the mids as well. hitting that high. In theory, if I go slap on the same ozone with 1 minute to spare, and literally all I've done is side chained the sub and the mids. Go slap on my same mix down thing. Shape the EQ a little bit to how I'll like it for this track. Lots of sub. Little bit of mid presence. Down, what I do is like I go through and run neutron on everything, which is basically just a nice way of saying I want this up front in the mix, and it'll go through and do a whole load of algorithm shit and just tick this all off. Just go apply like a nice little exciter, and then basically just fine tune it from there, and not too bad really. I'm pretty impressed with that. Not too bad. I think that's, yeah, maybe like an hour or two more tinkering and that'll be ready to go. So yeah, let's save that and then finish up the stream. So fucking casket mix down. Excellent job. Cool. Let's go back to just cam. Come on, mate. Jump up. There we go. You're here. You're really soggy as well. So that's goodbye from me and goodbye from Storm. You look so pissed. So pissed. But yeah. Cool. cheers, guys. Thanks for hopping in, Evos and Volt, and anybody else that was just lurking about. So always good to see you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. I need to sync that up. Need to sync it up. Cool. Cheers, Volt, and cheers, Evos. Catch you guys soon.